At 68, Ellen walks into the room with a quiet confidence that turns heads, not for her designer outfit or silver-streaked hair, but for the undeniable glow of a woman who knows her worth. Once shy and uncertain, she has become a beacon of resilience and joy, her days filled with meaningful connections and newfound passions. What is her secret? 12 subtle habits she swears by, habits that reshaped her outlook and her life. Let's uncover her secrets, starting with one surprisingly simple shift. 1. Cultivating inner confidence. Ellen's quiet confidence didn't happen overnight. In her mid-50s, she often doubted her abilities and second-guessed her decisions, fearing judgment from others. Her turning point came when she began to focus on what she truly valued about herself. She wrote down her strengths daily, from her knack for problem-solving to her nurturing nature, and slowly began to see herself through a lens of appreciation. This simple practice of self-recognition allowed Ellen to shed the burden of external validation. By focusing on her unique qualities, Ellen started to feel more in control of her narrative. She began accepting compliments graciously instead of brushing them off, and set boundaries to protect her energy. Inner confidence transformed her from feeling invisible to feeling vibrant and seen. Her newfound confidence wasn't about arrogance, but about embracing her authentic self. Ellen often reflected on moments where she stood up for her needs, which felt empowering. This practice helped her build resilience against self-doubt, turning it into one of her strongest traits. She started to walk into rooms with a natural grace, not needing to prove herself, but simply being present in her truth. Through journaling and self-reflection, Ellen also learned to let go of negative self-talk. When old insecurities surfaced, she countered them with affirmations about her growth and achievements. This mindset shift became a powerful foundation for the irresistible energy she exuded. 2. Mastering active listening. One of the first things people noticed about Ellen was her ability to make others feel truly heard. This wasn't always the case. She had spent much of her life multitasking during conversations and jumping to conclusions. Realizing this habit distanced her from people she cared about, she decided to change. Ellen made a conscious effort to pause and focus fully on whoever she was speaking with. She maintained eye contact, let them finish their thoughts without interruption, and responded with empathy. Instead of thinking about what to say next, she immersed herself in their words. Over time, these changes deepened her relationships and drew people toward her. Genuine curiosity became one of her most magnetic traits. When friends shared their stories, Ellen often asked thoughtful follow-up questions that showed she truly cared. This simple act of listening with intent transformed her connections, making her a trusted confidant. People gravitated toward her not because she had all the answers, but because she made them feel valued and understood. Her growth in this area was evident in her family dynamics too. Ellen's grandchildren opened up to her more freely, knowing she would truly listen. Her ability to hold space for others created a ripple effect, improving not just her relationships, but also her sense of fulfillment. 3. Maintaining a positive attitude. Ellen's optimism became a cornerstone of her irresistible charm, but it wasn't always her natural state. In the past, she often focused on what could go wrong, letting her worries overshadow her joy. To combat this, she started a gratitude journal, jotting down 3 positive moments each day. At first, it felt forced, but as she continued, Ellen found herself looking for the good in every situation. This shift in perspective helped her reframe challenges as opportunities and find joy in small, everyday moments. By actively seeking out the silver linings, she began to see setbacks as temporary and solvable, rather than insurmountable. One powerful change came when Ellen began celebrating even her smallest achievements. Whether it was completing a long-delayed task or helping a neighbor, she allowed herself to feel pride in her contributions. This built a feedback loop of positivity that fueled her self-esteem. Ellen even kept a win jar where she wrote down her daily victories on slips of paper. On tough days, She would revisit these notes to remind herself of her progress. Ellen's positive attitude became infectious. Friends and family often remarked on how her presence lightened the mood and inspired others to see the brighter side of life. Her optimism wasn't about ignoring hardships, but choosing to face them with resilience and hope. To solidify this mindset, Ellen surrounded herself with uplifting influences like books, music, and supportive people. These external sources of positivity reinforced her own, ensuring she remained steady even when life threw curveballs. She also found joy in small, intentional rituals, such as morning walks in nature or savoring her tea while watching the sunrise. These moments of mindfulness became anchors of calm and gratitude in her day. 4. Investing in personal style. Ellen's newfound confidence naturally extended to her personal style. She began viewing her wardrobe as an expression of her individuality, no longer settling for outdated or uninspired clothing. Ellen didn't focus on following trends, but instead curated pieces that made her feel both comfortable and empowered. She gravitated toward bold colors that complemented her complexion and fabrics that draped gracefully on her frame. One of Ellen's key discoveries was understanding how small details, such as statement jewelry or a perfectly tailored blazer, could transform her look. By simplifying her choices and prioritizing quality over quantity, she developed a signature style that consistently turned heads. Her outfits became a reflection of her inner confidence, leaving a lasting impression on everyone she met. 5. Embracing gratitude as a daily habit. Gratitude became Ellen's cornerstone for emotional well-being. After adopting a gratitude journal in part 1, she realized the practice could extend beyond writing and into her interactions with others. Ellen made it a point to express her appreciation openly, whether it was thanking a friend for their support or acknowledging a barista's exceptional service. This intentional act of gratitude shifted her focus from what she lacked to the abundance in her life. It also created a ripple effect, as people responded to her positivity with warmth and kindness. Ellen found that these moments of connection not only deepened her relationships, but also fostered a sense of belonging and contentment. Over time, gratitude became second nature to her. It was no longer something she practiced. It became a part of who she was. Her ability to recognize and cherish the good in life made her presence uplifting and irresistible to those around her. 6. Being generous with compliments. Building on the emotional strength and presence she developed, Ellen realized the transformative power of uplifting others with authentic compliments. She began to notice the small yet significant details in those around her, like a friend's thoughtful gesture, a neighbor's vibrant garden, or even a stranger's confident stride. Instead of keeping these observations to herself, she made it a point to acknowledge them openly. Her compliments weren't generic or empty. Ellen took the time to be specific and heartfelt, saying things like, "Your patience during that conversation was so inspiring," or "The way you light up the room when you smile is remarkable." This level of detail made her words resonate deeply with others, creating a sense of connection that felt both genuine and personal. At first, Ellen worried that offering compliments might seem insincere or awkward. She practiced by starting small, complimenting the barista who always greeted her with a smile, or thanking her friend for their consistent kindness. Over time, this habit became second nature, and Ellen noticed the profound impact it had not only on others, but on herself. This habit brightened the days of those she interacted with, but more importantly, it created a ripple effect of positivity. People often reciprocated her kindness, leading to a cycle of mutual appreciation and warmth. By focusing on the good in others, Ellen cultivated a sense of warmth and approachability, drawing people closer to her in every setting, whether at social gatherings or casual encounters. 7. Showing genuine curiosity about others. Ellen's ability to connect with people grew exponentially as she embraced a genuine curiosity about the lives of those around her. She began to approach conversations with an open mind and a sincere interest in the experiences, dreams, and challenges of others. This wasn't about prying or collecting information. It was about fostering meaningful dialogue and creating space for others to feel seen and heard instead of asking surface level questions like, "How are you?" She explored deeper topics such as, "What's something you've been excited about lately?" or "What inspires you the most in your current chapter of life?" Ellen quickly learned that these open-ended questions unlocked rich and heartfelt conversations that lingered in the minds of those she spoke with. In her earlier years, Ellen had a tendency to dominate conversations, filling silences with anecdotes and opinions. Recognizing this, she made a conscious effort to listen more than she spoke. She practiced active listening, focusing entirely on the speaker without interrupting or planning her response. She nodded, maintained eye contact, and occasionally paraphrased their words to show understanding and engagement. This shift not only deepened her relationships, but also gave her a sense of fulfillment and purpose. People felt valued and understood in her presence, and they often sought her out for advice or simply to share their thoughts. Ellen's curiosity wasn't superficial. It came from a place of authentic interest, which made her presence both comforting and energizing. This habit became a cornerstone of her irresistibility, strengthening her bonds with loved ones and new acquaintances alike. 8. Offering unwavering support. Ellen's journey to becoming a source of unwavering support for those around her was both intentional and deeply rewarding. She realized early on that offering support didn't mean fixing everyone's problems, but being a consistent and understanding presence in their lives. Whenever a friend or family member confided in her, Ellen listened without judgment, creating a safe space for them to express their feelings. She learned to ask questions that encouraged reflection, such as, "What feels like the best way forward for you?" Or, "How can I help you through this?" Her approach was never about imposing solutions, but about empowering others to find their own answers. This habit extended beyond her closest relationships. Ellen became known in her community for her generosity and dependability. Whether it was volunteering at a local shelter, organizing a fundraiser, or simply offering to babysit for a neighbor in need, her actions demonstrated a deep commitment to those around her. Ellen's unwavering support wasn't without boundaries, though. She understood the importance of self-care and knew when to step back to recharge. This balance allowed her to give her best to others without feeling drained or overwhelmed. Over time, Ellen's reputation as a reliable and empathetic presence solidified her as someone people admired and trusted deeply. This habit not only reinforced her relationships, but also gave her a profound sense of purpose. By showing up consistently and selflessly, Ellen cultivated a deep network of trust and mutual respect. These connections enriched her life, adding another layer to her irresistible charm and creating a lasting impact on everyone she touched. 9. Pursuing lifelong learning and interests. Having come this far, Ellen realized that one of the most empowering aspects of her transformation was the joy of intellectual curiosity. Pursuing lifelong learning wasn't just about acquiring knowledge, but about embracing opportunities to grow and discover new passions. She started small, attending local workshops on topics that intrigued her, like painting and gardening, and then found that immersing herself in new interests reignited a sense of wonder and adventure. Each class brought challenges, but they also fueled her creativity and gave her a renewed sense of purpose. She joined a book club which introduced her to inspiring literature and deep conversations. These pursuits not only expanded her knowledge, but also enriched her social life, connecting her with people who shared her enthusiasm. This habit wasn't just about hobbies, it was about nurturing a mindset that valued curiosity. Ellen's willingness to learn made her adaptable and kept her spirit vibrant. She realized that it was never too late to chase new dreams or explore long-held interests. 10. Practicing mindfulness and being present, Ellen's transformation reached new heights when she embraced mindfulness. In her younger years, she often felt distracted, juggling tasks and rarely living in the moment. With age, she realized the beauty of slowing down and being fully present. She began incorporating mindfulness into her daily routine, starting with simple practices like deep breathing exercises in the morning. These moments of stillness helped her feel grounded and prepared to tackle the day with clarity. Ellen also practiced mindful eating, savoring every bite of her meals, and mindful walking, appreciating the sights, sounds, and scents around her. Being present allowed Ellen to engage with others on a deeper level. Conversations became more meaningful as she focused entirely on the person in front of her, free from distractions. This habit also improved her emotional resilience, as it helped her manage stress and maintain a sense of calm during challenging situations. Over time, mindfulness became a way of life for Ellen. It wasn't about perfection, but about finding peace in the present and appreciating the simple joys that might otherwise go unnoticed. 11. Sharing your unique wisdom. The final step in Ellen's journey was realizing the impact of sharing her life lessons. Having experienced her own transformation, she felt a strong desire to uplift and inspire others. This wasn't about boasting, but about contributing to the community by offering her perspective and support. Ellen became a mentor to younger women in her neighborhood, sharing stories of resilience and growth. She often spoke about overcoming fears, pursuing passions, and finding joy in small victories. Her wisdom wasn't just in her words, but in the way she listened and encouraged others to see their potential. This habit of giving back didn't require a formal setting. Ellen's conversations at the local coffee shop or her warm advice to a friend carried the same weight. She found fulfillment in knowing that her experiences could help others navigate their own journeys. By sharing her wisdom, Ellen created a ripple effect of positivity and empowerment. The habit strengthened her connections, deepened her sense of purpose, and reminded her of the beauty of living a life of intention. 12. Dressing with purpose. Beyond just selecting flattering outfits, Ellen began dressing with intention. Each morning, she asked herself, "What do I want to feel today?" and chose her attire accordingly. Whether it was a flowing dress that made her feel free or a structured jacket that gave her a sense of power, Ellen embraced clothing as a tool for self-expression. She also started dressing for herself rather than societal expectations. No longer confined by age fashion rules, she chose outfits that brought her joy, comfortable yet stylish. Her wardrobe mirrored the life she had built, one of confidence, freedom, and authenticity. By dressing with purpose, Ellen didn't just look good, she felt unstoppable. Her outfits became a daily affirmation of her self-worth, a visible reminder of how far she had come. Ellen's story is a testament to the transformative power of small, intentional habits. By embracing lifelong learning, mindfulness, and sharing her wisdom, she crafted a life filled with joy, purpose, and resilience. These habits are more than practices. They are pathways to an enriched and fulfilling journey. Your golden years hold the same potential. Embrace them with confidence and grace, knowing every step forward is an opportunity to thrive. Your next chapter begins with the habits you choose today.